Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Titans Season 3, and this is going to be my review and breakdown sort of stuff on Episode 6 for this season, otherwise entitled Lady Vic. But of course, spoiler, if you've not watched the episode, go away, then come back later on. But of course, if you are continuing on, you've watched the episode, be sure to let me know in the comments section down below your general thoughts on this episode. What did you love? What did you hate? What was your reaction to the end? Are you exciting where that's heading off? Obviously, we'll talk about that throughout this video, and just let me know how you just like this episode as a whole. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you enjoyed the episode and just want to support the channel, why not drop a like on the video to do all of that. So last episode was a pretty simple one. It was just the Red Hood origin sort of flashback things. And I was actually surprised seeing that that was like an entire flashback episode, but it leads really well into this episode, even though this episode obviously skips ahead in time from that. So that sort of surprised me that it flowed pretty well, even though it skips a lot of time. So yeah. Now we start off the episode by seeing this blonde woman in a diner while two straight, well, I guess they're straight, but two state troopers who are a couple talking about their future. I'm assuming, like, they're not married, but they're planning to be married or something like that. But anyway, but this blonde woman, who was of course the namesake for the episode, that being Lady Vic, kills these two straight, they're not straight troopers, two state troopers, before heading straight to Gotham. And I did find it funny when she was heading into Gotham. It said like, welcome to Gotham. Now get the F out of here, or go the F home, or whatever it said. Now I was wondering, like, at the beginning of this episode, I was like, why did she kill these two random state troopers? I was like, is it because she's an assassin and she's being thorough and she's like not leaving any chances of the authorities tailing her? I was like, what's going on here? But then that's explained later in the episode, and I just mentioned it now, when her partner is killed and the whole ring is handed over. That's what she's playing with at the beginning of the episode. And I was like, oh. So I was like wondering, it's like, what was the point of that? And then when that scene happened towards, at the end of the episode, I was like, okay, there we go. That explains it. So that's why she kills those state troopers. It's almost like, if I can't be in love, if I can't have my perfect half, then neither can you. Because I was just confused, like, why would you waste your skills like that? I don't think an assassin would just kill two random people for the sake of it. So yeah, that's probably the best explanation. Now, of course, not last episode, but the episode before, we had Corey and Gar break Blackfire out of that like government sort of prison sort of thing. So Blackfire arrives in Gotham along with Corey and Gar. And it was interesting and I guess quite humorous seeing her get used to normal living. There's no servants here, but of course, Corey has her worries bringing Blackfire into all of this, and the other people are like, yeah, okay, sure, she's new to the group, but like, what's your massive worry? But they've only known, like Connor and Gar in particular, only known her for a tiny little bit. You know, Starfire grew up with Blackfire and knows all the issues there, and that's why she's wary. So we see elements of that throughout this episode, and we will touch on them later in the video, but there's nothing there that makes you go like, oh, you know, that's extremely concerning. It's more just Corey based off her past, you know, relating it to this situation. But speaking of the past, we get flashbacks in this episode. I thought there was going to be no flashbacks. We had an entire flashback episode last week, but this week we have about, I don't know, like a fifth. I don't know. I was gonna say a fifth of the episode, but we had like a good amount of flashback scenes, and that's 6 years ago in Gotham City with Dick Grayson out in Gotham as Robin. I didn't think we'd be seeing him in this Robin outfit ever again. This episode proved me wrong. And he's attempting to stop a robbery by someone who you would think is Catwoman. They try and play it off as if it is Catwoman, with Dick later even name-dropping Selena Kyle, but it's actually Barbara Gordon before her incident that puts her in a wheelchair, and this is before she's even done the whole Batgirl thing. Now, she's doing this Catwoman-like stuff just to keep her father, Commissioner Gordon, on his toes, and I did enjoy the discussion about Barbara and future escapades as Robin Girl, as Dick put forward, or what should be, you know, named Batgirl. But while some hanky-panky, if you want to call it, gets going on between Dick and Barbara, Dick wakes up, picking up from the end of episode 4 following his fight with Red Hood in the cabin where he was shot by the police. Now, Dick's recklessness, if you want to call it, and oversight of that recklessness isn't well received by Corey and especially Gar, which is understandable considering the current state and emotions of the Titans. Like, all this stuff has happened, you know, Hank's dead, Dawn's left, all this stuff. And Dick's going out on his own and doing all of this. So it's just not sitting well with most of the other Titans. But yeah, as I said, this episode sort of flows really well off the last episode, which surprised me. So we have Jason Todd, and he has his eyes on, finishing the job off against Dick. But Jonathan Crane, or Scarecrow, wants to do something else in the meantime, and this is to inspect some brain surgery, when all of a sudden Lady Vic charges in, taking out all the doctors and nurses, with us learning that Lady Vic is in Gotham because of Crane, and they take an important piece of medical equipment. And obviously Jason had no idea this was about to happen. Crane did, Jason didn't. And they actually really move quickly throughout this episode with this Jason and Crane stuff. They don't linger and make it spread over like 3 or 4 episodes before Jason makes a realization. They move really quickly throughout this episode, which I've seen people really happy with this season, that they're just moving through the storylines fairly quickly and not making the characters seem, I guess, silly, which was like a thing in season 2, like they'd stretch out a storyline or spread it over a few episodes when it didn't really work that well. So, and then people are happy. I saw that in the comment section for last week's episode, that people are happy that they're moving quickly, and this episode continues on with that quick-paced storytelling. But Corey is just struggling to deal with her new ball and chain, that ball and chain being called Blackfire, who she can't trust with pretty much anything. But she has to deal with the issue at hand in Gotham, with her and Connor tracking down Dr. Christine Vo as the creator of this piece of medical equipment. Now, Connor and Blackfire's conversation I thought was actually a really good one, with Connor sort of feeling a connection with her and feeling some similarities, but that is interrupted when Corey finds Dr. Vo, and she has the exact same bomb placed on her like Hank did in episode 3, but Connor is able to provide some redemption, if you want to call it, in successfully being able to disable it, unlike with Hank. Now, obviously, we didn't see the aftermath in regards to the removal. It's like, okay, what happens after that? But yeah, we can just assume that she survived. Now, Connor does tap into his Luthor side, not his Kryptonian Clark Kent side, but his Luthor side, to think what Crane would want with his medical device, which we learn in simple terms can quickly replicate chemicals and all that. So with Jonathan Crane, chemicals, solutions, yeah, that's not going to end well. Now, during this, Blackfire escapes and just goes off, and later on we learn that she actually gets information her own way, busts some head, breaks some arms to get people talking, which doesn't please Corey all that much, though it's more than what Connor or Corey were able to figure out and achieve. But yeah, Corey has a hands full at the moment trying to deal with Blackfire. I think we know it's probably not going to go well. I guess it just matters how quickly does it all fall apart and Blackfire starts to become an enemy rather than an ally. Now, Dick being able to use the sounds of the incident in the hospital with Lady Vic and being able to like envision and recreate the fight, I thought was quite skillful and cool. I haven't really seen that before. And just being able to map out the height and skill level of whoever did it, with Dick being able to figure out who it was due to a previous incident. And this leads us to flashbacking again 6 years, you know, with Dick and Barbara out and about in Gotham being rebellious, you know, Dick following what Barbara had been doing, where they run into Lady Vic and her partner or whatever it is. Now, during this incident, we see you know, them two fight, and it leads to Lady Vic's partner being killed through one of her little dagger sort of thingies. And obviously this just sets up well, Lady Vic losing her partner in crime and loved one, and well, some potential vengeance on the cards. Now, I did like how Barbara gets a call on the bat phone, apparently from Batman himself, that being Bruce Wayne. I just thought that they just have that there. They haven't decided to take away from that sort of novelty. However, it's actually Lady Vic who sets up this whole thing in Crime Alley. So the whole phone call from Bruce Wayne is like, meet me where it all started, which is of course Crime Alley. But yeah, it's Lady Vic. She has like some sort of recording, and Lady Vic is in the mood for, yeah, some revenge, some vengeance after all these years. And I must say, Barbara put up one hell of a fight despite being in her wheelchair, even having like the baton sort of things come out. I thought that was actually really cool, and it sort of makes you want to see more of what she would have been like before her accident, like, you know, when she fully adopts that Batgirl mantle. I don't think we're going to see that. I'd be very, very surprised unless it's like something quick. But then again, they wouldn't make a full-on Batgirl suit just for like one little quick scene. So probably won't see it unless she features in like next season or something like that. But I'm not expecting it, to be completely honest. But yeah, in regards to Dick and Barbara, Dick does offer to inspect Barbara's apartment after this whole Lady Vic encounter, in order to just make sure that Lady Vic isn't there waiting for round 2, because that'd be a disaster if Dick just let her go up there and get shish kebabbed as soon as she walked in the door, which does tap into more flashbacks and memories for Dick in his past with Barbara, along with just seeing the life that Barbara now lives, which is of course just an ongoing reminder of the ramifications of the life that he has lived and that, you know, stuff and people that he's been involved in. So even though there's like, there can be good moments with Dick, he's always just reminded of like the pain, I guess, that's associated with the life that he's lived and the others involved with his life, which I thought was pretty heavy. Just seeing like all of Barbara's like you know, recovery equipment and, you know, rehabilitation, you know, with walking and everything like that. So yeah, it was rough to see. But to end the episode, I was actually surprised that this happened because I was curious how they were going to fold this character back in. But but like it still caught me by surprise, even though I was sort of waiting for them to do it after, because I think he was in episode 1. But we see Lady Vic report back to Jonathan Crane, where he's in the process of pushing forward his plan with this new medical device. But Jason has other ideas. Now, he's not happy being Crane's assistant pretty much, and him quickly, coming to the realization by the looks of it that Crane is just controlling him without him knowing it. He doesn't want to be Crane's little, if we're being completely honest, Crane's little bitch. So he goes around Gotham handing out Crane's anti-fear toxin, which had been made up by another sort of, B-level set of, chemists and scientists, where the first user we see use it goes into Tim Drake's family restaurant, shooting it up, hitting Tim's father. Now, I don't know what happened to Tim's mother, but I know his mother was killed and his father was paralyzed due to an incident in the comics. Now, we see his father's still alive, but slumped on the ground. So we can assume he's maybe been shot and paralyzed, Barbara Gordon style. So I do wonder whether that same incident has played out in that end scene. So his mother killed, his father paralyzed. Now, from memory, this happened in the comics after Tim had already started being the new Robin, which is, of course, after the death of Jason Todd. So the show's playing into that. So the show could be playing with this sort of storyline and flipping it around a bit, where now it is some motivation or a push to him to become the next Robin. However, of course, we know that sort of Bruce Wayne's walked away from it all. So I don't know if this ends up with Tim sort of, becoming Robin for the Titans, or Tim Drake just becomes a vigilante like Robin that's just disconnected from Batman and the Bat family as a whole. And of course, he looked up to Robin. We know that from the first episode. He was obviously crying when that news came on that Robin died. So maybe this is where we see the Red Robin perhaps come in. So he's never Robin, but he becomes like Red Robin, like he does in the comics. But that's like his first, that's his first mantle or something like that. So I'm very interested to see how it all plays out. Yeah, I'm just curious to see where it goes, because I wasn't too sure how they were going to work Tim Drake back into the show. But I think it's actually probably the best way to do it, even though it provides like immediate heartbreak. But I obviously still don't know what happened to his mother, because I don't know if they say that in the episode. We just hear screaming, but we can assume people died in that restaurant, but his dad seemed to still be alive, but potentially paralyzed. And obviously it's very important to include the fact that this Robin that he looked up to this person that he cried over the death of, is ultimately sort of responsible for what's just happened in his family's restaurant, this shooting. He provided the means for this person to feel no fear and do what he needs to do. And now potentially one, if not both of his parents are dead, or at least definitely handicapped from what just happened. So imagine if Tim finds that out. That'd be insane. But yeah, this episode I thought was definitely one of the slower episodes. I don't think it was meant to be like, oh my god, this is meant to be a 10 out of 10. But I think it was still a solid episode in regards to storytelling. I think obviously it's still got the issue at hand where it is just really, really focused on the Bat family, which we've discussed. Now I know it's beating a dead horse, bringing it up constantly, but it is still not properly a Titan show. So I'm interested to see like when we start getting, maybe when Blackfire becomes the issue and then you see all the Titans have to come together to deal with her, or at least that becomes a Titans-centric story, what the show's like and whether it handles it well. But at the moment when they're mainly dealing with this Bat family stuff, they're pretty much nailing it in regards to consistency. So yeah, I'm excited to see how it plays out in the next few episodes. Not too sure what next episode is meant to be about. I don't know if I think the title's out there, but I have no idea what it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this episode. What did you love? What did you hate? Any theories? Are you excited by the whole Tim Drake setup at the end of the episode? How long do you think it's going to take for him to don any sort of costume? Just let me know all that in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.